Waterford Dental Health Coaches interview. Fitch's Mike Ellis. You and I have talked all year long about what this team can do when it's mistake-free. Talk a little bit about what you saw today.
Well, I think that, we came into today knowing that we had to cut the penalties down and cut the turnovers down. I think we did have one turnover. We had a fumble that we turned over there, and I think we had one penalty on the day. So that's big for us because we're a team that has beaten itself and can beat itself with key plays or key miscues at inopportune times. That's what cost us at West Haven, but today we executed better. So hopefully we can keep that rolling into Thanksgiving.
An unusual circumstance for you today is you were the more experienced, more veteran, sort of sharper team over a younger New London team. You took advantage with some cadence things and got them to move around and stuff. Is it encouraging that when your team was sort of the favorite, the more experienced, that they acted like it and played like it?
No, it was because we were afraid of New London's speed. If you watch them, they'll go broken plays and the guy goes all the way around. It's the New London of old, for a touchdown. The North Haven where he picks up a fumble in the end zone goes all the way. So we were very concerned about that because in the past, games have been decided. You may dominate the game but lose on the scoreboard because they make these plays. So for us to come in and shut that down, I thought the defense did a very good job of playing with their shoulders square, and then also for the offense to execute and finish and put points on the board. That was important. So I'm pleased with that and the way that they finished the game that way.
All year long, the message, and Cam said this as a player, he's, it's always 1 week at a time, right? It's always one game at a time. Now you're at a point, though, where there is only one game guaranteed. Yeah. And it's not only Thanksgiving, and it's not only for the sword and the rivalry, but these kids will know going in that it probably means a chance to continue to play in the postseason. At what point do you turn the message from sort of one game at a time to understand the opportunity that you have and switch the focus to sort of the bigger picture as well?
Yeah, I don't know, Casey, if at this point in time we're really going to switch it to the bigger picture. And the reason for that is we got the sword, we're going. Simple as that. So we don't need to see the bigger picture, in my opinion. I think we just focus on winning that sword back. That is important for us to have. Last year was very disappointing the way that we gave that away. Now, I do think in the back of their minds, in our minds, we know that if we win and get it, we're probably moving on. But we don't get there unless we win that sword. So that will be our sole focus for the next week and a half.
So that's my last question is it's, because you guys played today, Thanksgiving, you get a little bit of a break, You get a little bit of extended. How does that change things? Do you get healthy? Do you scheme? What do you do use the extra time that you have between now and then for?
I think it's both. I think, number one, trying to stop the single wing. We've got to scheme that up, and we've got to make sure we're in the right position with the right people in the right positions. Also, it is a chance to shorten the practice time, not take so many hits, and kind of get our speed back and our legs back under us so we are fresh for Thanksgiving. So I think you make two good points there, and we're going to try to do both over the next week and a half.
Very few people, I think, have an appreciation for Thanksgiving Day the way you do. You have been involved in a lot of the great Thanksgiving rivalries in different locations, right? Yeah. So on Thanksgiving Day, you guys are going to be involved in one of the great rivalries, for the sword. You just played a team that's going to be involved in the oldest high school football rivalry. Obviously, Waterford East Lyme, Stonington Westerly. There's a great tradition of Thanksgiving around here. So just for you, as you head into Thanksgiving and prepare this team, do you try to let them know? Do you try to instill in them just, what Thanksgiving Day football kind of means, at least in southeastern Connecticut?
Absolutely, because I think that what they don't understand, and I try to make this point to them, is that we are really the only part of the country that still has it. Every other part got rid of Thanksgiving Day football. So here, you do have a championship game at the end of your season, whether you're going into the playoffs or not. And the history that we have here with the NFA New London being the longest rivalry in the country, you've got Stonington Westerly being the longest, the most times played against each other, and the longest Thanksgiving Day rivalry in the country. And then you've got, the Fitch Ledyard, the Waterford East Lyme. It really is special that way. I coached in Massachusetts for 5 years before coming back to Connecticut, and they had Thanksgiving Day football up there, but it really wasn't the same as southeastern Connecticut was. We're very lucky. I think the kids need to understand how lucky we are. I may be going against Mike DeMoro here, who wants to get rid of Thanksgiving, but I think for the kids and for this area, it's still important because it's important for the communities. It's a time for the community to come together and have a good football game and be able to send these kids out in a championship type atmosphere. And that's why I love Thanksgiving, and that's what's nice about playing here on Saturday morning, is that we could talk about the New London Fitch Thanksgiving Day a little bit and how that transpired, leading us into this game against Ledyard.
Well, Fitch will roll into Thanksgiving with a chance to make the postseason. More importantly, a chance to continue the great rivalry with Ledyard for the sword. Whatever happens, we know that that's going to be a special day. The Waterford Dental Health coaches interview. He's got all smiles today. Fitch's Mike Ellis. Congratulations.